All right, everybody. So I'm going to see if it's possible to eat healthy in a German airport. You all excited? Is that wide angle or normal camera? Can never tell. Bakery means carbs. Carbs means bloated. Bloated means no. You know what I find crazy is that at a German airport, the food is actually less healthy than it is in America. That's the part I think is nuts. Like at least, even in America, like the airport food is absolute garbage. But you can get a chicken Caesar salad if you want one. You know. I have no idea what that lady's saying. Okay, let's hear it.
I'd like to point out that you are obligated to wear a medical face mask throughout the terminal. For your own safety, please keep a distance of 1.5 meters.
Okay, we got drinks. Okay, yeah. Huh. What do we got here? Sweet chili chicken, tomato mozzarella. Hummus and falafel. Okay, that's not too bad, but it seems very bread heavy. Like the bread actually seems to be as thick as the falafel itself. So that's really mostly carbs and no nutrition. This looks like one of those fake chicken, but you know what? We'll put this in the maybe list. This is on the maybe list. Solid maybe. And over here you just got chips and other garbage. That's it. Din dog, I have not had my mind for a really long time. But yes, I lost it. And if you knew how I spent the last week, you'd probably think I'm crazy. And I am crazy. That's fine. Sometimes a little bit of crazy is just what I need. How you doing, Din Dog? Hopefully the annoying coworker is leaving you alone. Okay, what do we got here? Coffee shop. Let's see. Those sandwiches look like all carbs and total shit. It literally looks like plastic. Okay. Yeah, that looks like it's more preservative than food. The ratio of preservative, like if the food looks like a piece of plastic or silicone, don't eat it. Sorry to hear that, Din Dog.
Achtung bitte, Frau Kreska Mbagovani wird zum Treffpunkt in Ankunftshalle B gebeten.
I don't know what you're saying.
Mbagovani bitte.
They spell police with a Z here. Maybe there's some better food out here. Food. I'm in Germany because I need to go to Germany to go back to America. Because a direct flight, because a normal flight, I can use my rewards points on and get for free. But a direct flight, I have to pay for directly, and that's like $3,000 to $6,000. And screw that. So don't get me wrong, like 12 hours versus 20 hours, it does suck. But saving $3,000, I'll take that any day. The real question is, what am I doing in the United Arab Emirates? And that is a very long story, Din Dog, that I may share on YouTube 10 or 20 years from now when enough time has passed for it to be funny. I decided not to announce that I was in a Sharia law country until I left, Because you can get reported for all types of shit there, you know? Like, if you offend a cab driver, they can report you and mess with you and say that you cursed and then you wind up in prison. Like, okay. This is, yeah, that's literally frozen pizza. That's more preservative than food. I think they bought those from the same dumpster that the other place bought their sandwiches from. Those things look like they've been sitting there for 3 years. Nope. So the wrap from the first place is actually still in the lead. Dindog says we have to know why you were in the UAE. 10 years from now. I'll tell you in 10 years. Okay, these are that's the exact same sandwich in the other place. They're all buying this from the same dumpster. I forgot to take down what the price was in the other place though, damn it. Dindog, I was exercising my curiosity on an opportunity that I missed 10 years ago. I'll leave it at that for now. There's some things I had regretted in life. Some things I regretted in life. And now I have answers, closure, and happiness. Let's see. Okay. You literally can't buy a salad in a German airport. You have to be shitting me. You can't buy a fucking salad in a German airport. Also, I miss being able to say the word fucking. I made a video with and the thumbnail of the video had me giving the like Italian FU symbol, hand sign. And somebody messages me and says, yo, you may want to edit that part out of the video. I'm like, yeah, but I haven't told anybody I'm here. And I'm like, yeah, but if somebody knows that you're here and they report you, oh, that's bad. Listen, I can say that with my mouth, I visited a Sharia law country. I got drunk in the Sharia law country, and I didn't get Nick Berged. So, I can put that. I have an impressive item for the bucket list. Okay. I'm not in France. This is Frankfurt. Yo, Tabula. I've been saying for the longest time that Europeans are healthier than Americans. And that's one of the reasons that you guys do better on stuff like COVID. And a big problem here is I have to actually rescind that. Because ever since I've entered Germany, everybody I've seen has been fat. And you have no salad at your airport. Oh, crap. Don't tell me I have to check in again. That would be something. Yeah. Do I have to check in again because I went out to get food?
You got a sticker?
I didn't. Let's see. Where would they have put the sticker?
Really sticker. Need to see it there.
Is it on the boarding pass?
No, it's not. It's Lufthansa boarding pass.
Did they put it on your passport?
Maybe. I don't. Oh yeah, I see. Okay. Right? Okay. Thank you.
Ah, good. You have a good day. Indeed, I got answers, Dindog. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Germany. You have no salad at your airport and you have this shit. Screw that. Actually, salad does not equal healthy. Lies, Jessica, whatever. You shouldn't be loading up on carbs all the time. And the sandwiches here have more carbs than sandwich. The bread is twice the size. Sorry, Dindog, that was for security. It was either that or I put you in my pocket. You stay in Germany for 4 hours. Actually, probably 2 hours. I gotta check my boarding pass and see. Okay, time to get something to eat. Alright, let's go back to that fake sandwich shop. That's the best thing we're gonna get here is fake sandwich. Where's fake sandwiches?
Achtung bitte. Wir weisen Sie darauf hin, dass im gesamten Terminal die Verpflichtung zum Tragen eines medizinischen Nasen-
Okay, wrap or sandwich? I have a feeling that wrap is gonna be lower carb. Linsen and falafel. Tandoori chicken. Tandoori. Caesar. I'll try the Caesar. How do you, which one of these is carbohydrates? Is colon hydrate a carbohydrate? I guess because carbohydrates make you shit when you're in Germany, so they call it a colon hydrate. 28 carbs in this fucking wrap. Are you serious? Fuck out of here. Let's see, have anything else in here? Let's see, what about the, maybe the bread version will have less. This has 26 colon hydrates. 184 kilocalories. More calories but more carbs, but the ratio is different. There is no such thing as salad in Germany. That's why so much of the airport is overweight. Okay, what do we get to drink? Something basic. Yeah, you got all these fake sports drinks. Why do you spell alcohol with a K? Such strange people. What a culture. That's not how you spell alcohol. Strange. Yeah. I'll buy some nice overpriced airport water. They rape you up the ass because you have to throw away your water when you enter the airport in case it's an explosive. You know what's interesting? They don't do that in Dubai or any other part of the UAE. But they do it here.
Lassen Sie Ihr Gepäck nicht unbeaufsichtigt. Security announcement. Do not leave your baggage unattended.
You know what I do? Okay, it's very small. Cut it here and maybe put it on. Okay, wow. Okay? Yeah, very good. Just stop. Okay. Better than nothing, you know? Yeah, I think. You? Okay. Let me get 3 more. 3 more? Total 8 pieces? Yes. My boy, he loves those, you know? Yes, I have a kid like that. You have tape? Okay. Should be protected.
Ketosis is not unhealthy. Incorrect, happy quails.
Okay, that. Okay. So it's
I live-
37.80.
Where do I do the phone?
50 seconds. Here, please. Thank you. And the receipt for you?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a nice day. Hi. Please come.
Hello. How are you?
Take your time already.
Keeping busy?
€12.99, please. Huh?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Have a good one. Bye. Receipt for you?
Nothing.
Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.
$5.79 for a water. Sometimes I wonder if the bottled water lobby is behind all of the restrictions and regulations for air transport and travel. It would make sense. Yeah, I had to show a vaccine card in order to get into Dubai, and I had to show a vaccine card in order to get into Germany. And I also had to show a vaccine card to get back into the US. Food. Sustenance. Russia is really screwing themselves, Volker. I wonder, and keep in mind when I say this that I'm retarded on foreign policy. I wonder if they have an ace up their sleeve. Because the world is cutting them off, the currency is going down. Has to be an ace up their sleeve that we don't know about. Maybe more support from nations like Iran and China than what we know? Who knows? See if I can rest my phone on my overpriced water bottle. There we go. The German language is older than English, so they write correctly. Is that true? Why am I in Germany? Because I have to go to Germany to go home. Decades of sanctions have forced Russia to be independent of the outside world. I don't think they are fully independent, though. Thirsty. Sorry, people. Oh wow, the microphone actually props up the phone. That's cool. I didn't know that this little Rode mic that I plug into the phone can actually prop up the phone. Supposedly they removed vaccine card in Hawaii, but the mask still needs to be worn. Yeah, every airport requires a mask. It's very interesting to get the perspective as well. When people in America say that it's only liberals that are concerned about masks and progressives and COVID shit, when you go to the United Arab Emirates, Emirates, however the hell you say it, they're pretty conservative people. If you're not in Dubai, you're not even allowed to have a man and a woman in the same apartment. And even in Dubai, they only allowed a man and a woman that are unmarried in the same apartment in November of 2020. Like, you can't curse in public or you get put in prison. I would say that it's considerably more conservative. And they had mask requirements, all different types of vaccine requirements. They're not very progressive. So it's very interesting to get that perspective from other sections of the world. There are parts of the world that are actually quite more conservative than the United States. They still got all the same shit. I'm eating garbage airline food. I did fly alone. Now, do you know how flights work? I just got a MacBook from UAE. It has been messed with. Oh. Look for my sticker in it, Tim. Maybe it was somebody you know. No, I'm kidding. I didn't do any MacBook repair. I was there. MacBook repair was not the reason for my trip there. Figuring certain things out was. I'm getting old enough that I prefer to have closure on everything. Did you hear about the nuclear facility strikes while you were downwind? Yes, I did. Did you have fun, or was this whole vacation worth it? Or did you develop any more as a human being? I relearned lessons that I think I had already learned, but I forgot. Does that make any sense? And I also had a week of just kind of being able to walk around a cool place, and I got to see the Arabian Tea House. That was nice. Tallest building. Arabian Tea House was cool. Gold souk, beach there. Nice stuff. Yeah, I think I developed a little bit more as a human being, but I think I regressed to then develop again, if that makes any sense. So no rich dude that decided to fly you in to repair a backpack instead of sending it to the US. Correct, Ahmed, correct. How long will you stay? Until my plane leaves. Looks nice in UAE, but with the amount of THC in my blood, plasma, I'd probably get a life sentence. You know what's really interesting? How is this live stream so clear coming from outside the US? Because wireless service providers in Germany probably don't suck. I'm getting a consistent 400 kilobytes a second. Usually when I live stream in America, I'll get 350 kilobytes a second for the first 4 minutes, and then it drops down to 90 kilobytes a second right afterwards because AT&T sucks. But I have a little meter at the top that actually shows me the bandwidth. It's a little overlay that's always on my phone that shows download and upload in kilobytes per second, so I can see if my stream is dying. The amount of THC in my blood plasma, I probably get a lot. Yeah, there's a couple of interesting things about UAE. Like a lot of areas there, they have no traffic lights, even at intersections and everything, and people they just don't crash. Like I don't know, like the honor system, whatever it is, they have a lot of, even Dubai, it's not as busy as New York, but it's busier than Miami. Miami has like 400,000 people, Nashville is around 450,000 people or so. They got 1.2 million people there in a small area, and they don't have car crashes. They have crosswalks, they have roads, they have people going 50 miles an hour, and nobody crashes. It's crazy. Like you just walk up to the crosswalk and people actually stop. I mean, in New York City, can you imagine getting rid of the traffic lights in New York City? You can't. I haven't been a vegan for over a year, so I don't know. I was a vegan from November 2015 to December 2020. So I made it 5 years in a month. I put an honest 5 years in, but what are you doing in Germany? Going home. Germany is a transit point. Yes. The amount of people here that actually don't understand four-way stops is astonishing. Yeah, I know a lot of people that think a four-way stop is a game of chicken. That's sad. No, I didn't drive to Germany. That's difficult. You need a really special car for that. Four-way stop system works well. Amazed when I was in South Africa and they used that. Yeah, traffic lights suck. Like traffic lights are training wheels. It really demonstrated that America does not trust its drivers at all. And I understand why they don't trust their drivers at all, but they really don't trust their drivers at all. Not one bit. What is the story? I'm going to be here till my plane leaves. Rule of right hand is simple. If you don't have traffic lights, who is on your right, go first. Most people don't treat it that way. What they do is they just see it as a game of chicken. Like they inch forward, and then when the other person inches forward, they inch forward faster. I see a lot of that in New York City. No, I drove, Maui. I drove. You with the dumb questions. Holy crap. You're like, stop. When the traffic lights go out in New Hampshire, suddenly all traffic disappears and there are only 1 or 3 incompetent peons that get spotted from a mile away at intersections and usually get pulled over. No, I didn't visit Doc. Doc's far away. He's in Italy. Picking up a dropped AirPod from the seat in front of you is the worst. Bending and reaching to the floor over in a cramped plane seating is way more difficult than I ever knew. That's why I like having a wire on my Bluetooth headphones. Four-way stops are stupid. Why does everyone need to have a stop sign when you can have proper rules about who can go in? They have a lot of roundabouts there too. There's Dubai Ritzy. They have people driving McLarens, Ferraris, and Lamborghinis to the grocery store. Like I went to what looked like a ghetto grocery store parking lot, and I'm walking into this seemingly ghetto grocery store, and there is a McLaren, a Lamborghini, and a Ferrari parked in the parking lot of this grocery store. Like this is what you get used to get your groceries. I mean, it makes no sense. It makes zero sense whatsoever. But you know, hey, at least they're driving it. At least they're using it. You know. I wish they could, then dog. I wish. People actually know how to not dent other people's cars there. Going groceries with McLaren based. Yeah, that was my dream car in Need for Speed 2 Hot Pursuit. I forget if it was Need for Speed 2 or Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit, and there was Need for Speed 2 on PlayStation 1. I forget which one gave you the McLaren F1 as the best car. But that game, that's just nuts. You drive a McLaren to a grocery store. God bless you. People get smoked in rural Ontario because sometimes they see a stop sign and assume it is a four-way stop, when in reality the traffic on the 50-mile-per-hour road has the right of way. Oh, ouch. Ouch. Yeah, I try to be very, very careful of stop signs, because the whole thing is, let's say I actually made a mistake, right? Let's say I made a mistake and I'm not sure what type of sign it is. I want to look ahead, a little bit down the road in each direction, and I always kind of try to, if it's nighttime, focus my eyes very, very clearly across the landscape, like from here all the way to there, because I want to be able to detect if there's somebody coming by that doesn't have their headlights on. Because there's always going to be one asshole that doesn't have their headlights on in the middle of the night going 50 miles an hour down a dark road. And doing that damn near saved my life once, because I was looking down the road and I'm like, I didn't see anything. And then I just thought, instead of just taking a quick glance, I'm going to focus so that I can see clearly the entire stretch of the way and then back. And I saw something that looked, I don't know, just a little weird. And then I waited half a second, and that was a car going 50 miles an hour with no headlights on. Din Dog is correct. I'm traveling because I've lost my mind. Although, admittedly, I lost my mind a long time ago. I'll say you should be a mod here. I'm traveling because I lost my mind. Din Dog is correct, Ryan. That is the correct answer. In answer to your stream title, it is possible to eat healthy in a German airport. Drink the beer. It's basically a meal, and it's a healthy meal. Beer is not a meal. I find that difficult to believe. Biden ate my hamster. 575 from IG 101 for water. Thank you very much. Did you drive a Lambo in UAE? I didn't drive anything in UAE because I did not want to get tossed into a Sharia prison if I did something wrong. Like, no. I didn't. Beer is a meal that contains everything the body needs. You know what? Then you can drink it. Do they just visually verify vaccine passes? Yes. There was no scanning of QR codes, which makes me really disappointed because I paid for this stupid PCR test and I could have just forged my old one by changing the date in a PDF editor and then printing my own instead of getting a giant thing shoved up my nose and then spending money so that I could find the one place that could get me the results in time. That was really dumb. Like next time I'm like that was dumb. Like, well, what am I? Anyway. This camera angle makes you look like Obama. The 1980s called. They want their foreign policy back. Russia's not a problem at all. No problem with Russia. Don't know why Mitt Romney is so focused on Russia. Not really a threat. Not really a problem. The 1980s called. They want their foreign policy back. What a dumb fuck. I voted for Ron Paul in the primary in 2012, and Mitt Romney in the general. I didn't like Mitt Romney very much. Really wasn't a big fan of Mitt Romney, but yeah, one or the other. It sucks. Did it pay for the PCR test? Yeah, but that's the bullshit, Thomas. Okay, so you need... So the way it was explained to me is you need to have... within 24 hours of your flight, you need to have your test. But if the test takes 24 hours, and you need to have it within 24 hours, what the fuck is the point? Like, that's a bullshit system. And that's the precise reason that the next time I'm dealing with this shit, I'm editing the fucking PDF with the date and never dealing with this crap again. I actually paid for like a freaking sucker. Mitt seemed like a pushover to me. Yeah, I think that's what made Trump popular, is like McCain was kind of a pushover, and then Mitt Romney was kind of a pushover, and then Trump was a bulldozer. So even if he did shit that he shouldn't have done or said shit he shouldn't have said, people were just sick and tired of losing. And they were sick and tired. Like when you had that one, I forget what it was. Like with the Mitt Romney, with the binders full of women thing, when they tried to say that like he was some sort of sick pervert or something and stuff like that, and he just kind of let them roll all over him. He just took it. It was horrible. I was just watching this thinking, oh my God, have a fucking backbone, Jesus Christ. But it was actually quite, it was aggravating watching that. But admittedly, I didn't watch it very closely because in 2012 I was still busy with one business that was failing and one business that was almost failing. So it's actually a luxury to be able to follow politics to some extent, because if you have the time to follow anything going on in politics, it means that you actually have free time in your own life that you can use to follow other stuff like that. Most people, they have jobs, they have lives, they have families. They really don't have the time to follow all of this stuff. I guess more people now, because it's becoming like a sport for them. Like instead of watching wrestling, they'll watch CNN or Fox or something. It's their drama. It's the days of our lives for people now. If you're streaming through mobile data, you're roaming. I think so. Probably. I think the UA would kick us out within 2 seconds of crossing any border. Depends on how you... I don't know. I didn't get kicked out. No Erica J. Schaff. Where are you sitting? I am in an airport. You stuck in an airport about your test? No, I'm stuck in an airport waiting for my plane. You'll get home and chill out and find yourself a nice New England gal. I don't know. I haven't met any. Are there young women in New Hampshire? I don't know. That's probably a weird question. Everywhere that I've gone, everybody is old. I mean, New Hampshire reminds me of Maine in many ways, in that all the people that I meet and all the places that I go are elderly or middle-aged. I think there are some young people if you go to South Nashua or something, but that's practically Massachusetts at that point. I don't follow politics so much as it gets thrust in my face at every turn, and I can't completely disconnect for long periods, or I go crazy. Yeah, understandable. The numbers tell a different story. Every president, the next president is the other party. Going back to Lincoln, it's literally back and forth. What story? How is that different story? Pseudoridine, I can't answer the same question 1.7 million times. I just can't. Just stop asking that. You already know the answer. So like, there's no point to asking the same question over and over and over again. Trust me, Lewis, they are hard to find and hunted down. Yeah. Young is still under 60 in New Hampshire. Yeah. Nothing wrong with older women. That depends. There's nothing wrong with older women. I think there is something wrong with older women that don't know what they want. You have a lot more latitude to like mess around when you're in your 20s than you do when you're in like your late 30s or your 40s. Cape of 30 years. What do you mean cape? Have you watched the new Batman or Spider-Man movie? I have not. You will go directly from Germany to US. Yes. Yes. New Hampshire has an older population than Florida. Team no sleep as always, as I see. Oh no, I slept for 5 hours on the plane. I'm going to sleep for another 10 hours on this one. From New Hampshire, you'll find young women in the cute towns like Portsmouth. Portsmouth costs more than New York City and had no people. I did a stream where I walked around Portsmouth and it was completely empty. It seemed like a tourist trap that is now turning into a history museum. So like, it was a tourist trap a long time ago, but now it's just dead, kind of thing. Was the passport falsified? No, my passport is real. My COVID test is real. I mean, my PCR test is real, which I'm ashamed of. I should have, fucking used Foxit PDF reader and edited that shit. Edited the date on my original one. There are plenty of things wrong with older women, prime example. I have a hard time sleeping on planes. Me too, but my flight was at 1 a.m. and I had woken up at 6 a.m. the morning before, and I had spent 3 hours at the gym, and I was dead. I needed to sleep. Actually, I believe Erica broke up with Lewis. Does that really even matter, one way or the other? I'm debating whether or not I should correct this or just let it be. I'm going to think about this before I do something. I don't usually think before I say things, and it gets me in shit all the time. Sometimes it does well. Sometimes it results in YouTube videos with millions of views and people getting excited about a movement, but sometimes it's bad. You know what? I'm going to let that one go. That's really not the business of the internet. If she wants to talk about it, she can. If not, then... yeah. It's not my business to discuss her business. Keene, Manchester, Hampton in the summer, Henniker in the fall, Sinope in the summer, and other backwoods areas hiding out away from the populace. I can't stay awake on an airplane. Me either, TCRS. Beer is not healthy food. You guys are full of coke. That's absolute coke. You fly economy or business? I do business or first class in America and economy internationally, which makes no sense because, you would think that I would want, if anything, the longer flight to be more comfortable. But here, it's a difference between, being $300 to $600 and being $3,000 to $9,000. I'm not paying $9,000 for a 10-hour flight. Like, just no. That's insane. I'm not doing that. It had better come with a first class. Honestly, even if it came with an absolute first class escort and a private booth, it still would not be worth $9,000. No way. I live in Florida, and I want to move out west. Lived in NY for 5 years. Was 5 years too long? Well, I think you're better off in Florida than New York if you have your life there. Someone in another stream was asking about electric bikes. They'd never seen one or anyone riding. I referred them to your channel. I don't really have much details on it because I'm not really great at building them. I'm a MacBook repairman that built his own bike, but that does not make me a bike builder. What brings you to Dubai? Closure. You're a gentleman, Lewis. I sleep on planes too. Aloud. Thank you. I fly the cheapest way possible. I'd go in the cargo hold if I could. It's different on 10-hour flights, though. Buy a Ukrainian mail-order bride going very cheap. Yeah, that's... oh, man. I wish that could be funny, but unfortunately, too soon. With the world on fire, having some extra beers is not going to concern me. Cuomo wants to make a political comeback, apparently. Yo, he needs to get the fuck out of here. Just, go home. Go the fuck home. Lewis builds bikes like I remove SMCs. Lots of sweet mercy. Florida's hot all the time, like the change of season. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. Lane covered this in Seinfeld. The dumper is the winner. No, I don't think so. I don't think there are any winners and stuff like that. I think the winner is the person that goes on to live a happier life. But even then, that's not really a win. I thought that was a win 12 years ago. Like, I actually thought that I'd feel better. Because there was one person that treated me really poorly and was very manipulative. And her life was an absolute dumpster fire. Like, it just dumpster fire after dumpster fire after dumpster fire. And she was just absolutely vicious with me. This is the one that said, this is the woman that said, no wonder your mother killed herself if she had a son like you. And I got a call from her like 4 or 5 years ago, just absolutely in tears, crying and everything about how she was going to kill herself and blah, 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 and how she tried this, that, and the other, and it didn't work. Like, it's not a win. It really isn't. Like, when I was a teenager, I thought, I'm going to lead a great life. You're going to see what you missed, but I'm not even going to care if you come back because I'm living my best life. I don't need you in it. And and I'm going to prove you wrong about all the stuff that you said. But honestly, like, if you already know that to be the case, then just, you don't need proof of it. Like, you don't need that. When I got that call, I didn't feel like a winner. I didn't feel like I won. I didn't feel like, I didn't feel better. I just felt fucking sad. Like, just sad. But what I find really strange, and I don't really understand this. I'm not a person that you would, I guess, call a pickup artist or a MGTOW or one of those red pill coaches. I don't fucking understand women at all. What's always been weird to me is that asking women out is something I consistently fail at. Like, I could ask 500 women out in a row and get 500 no's in a row. And even the women that I have pursued, it's like there were a bunch of no's before a yes, often. But when I end a relationship, they don't go away. Like, if I end a relationship, it's very common that it's like, no, let's please try again. And then like a year later, I'll hear from them and say, oh, I'm sorry that I did this, that, and the other, let's try again. 3 years later, I'll hear from the same woman saying, oh yeah, I'm sorry I did this, that, and the other, let's try again. 5 years later, I'll get a call from them. And it's always been something that I've never understood. It's like, I'm very bad at presenting the value proposition that I offer on the front end, but I'm really good at presenting that value proposition on the back end. But obviously on the back end, I no longer care, because if a relationship is ended, there's no value proposition in it for me. Well, I guess that depends. If I was the one doing the breakup versus them, I suppose. But I'm not very good at making the value proposition on the front end. But it's very, very common that I'll hear from people. Like 3 months later, 6 months later, 9 months later, 2 years later, 5 years later, I screwed up. I'm sorry. I screwed up. I'm sorry. Let's try again. That kind of thing. It's probably something that I'm doing wrong. I'm confident it's something that I'm doing wrong. I'm a weird dude. Do you like German food? The only thing I've tried so far is German airport food, and it kind of sucks the same way American airport food does. Probably came from America. Maybe you should change your looks. That's a tough one. I have lost about 13 pounds in the past month. I have not weighed myself the entire time I was on vacation. The gym I was going to here actually doesn't have a scale. I don't trust gyms that don't have scales, but I haven't weighed myself. I'm going to weigh myself when I get back. It's probably going to be something that I'm unhappy with because I ate this carb-laden wrap. Ugh. And also can't exercise on the plane. But I did get 3 hours of the gym in before I got on the plane to make up for the fact that I have less later. There's not really much you can do there. I started changing the way that I dress a little bit. Like, there were certain things I've been putting off with just regards to like replacing stuff that doesn't fit me or that I just don't like. I just kept putting it off, and I just stopped doing that. And I also stopped putting off to doing cardio. Like because like I've always had a consistent weight routine, and I've stuck with a consistent weights routine. But you can't have the appearance or physique that you want if you don't do cardio as well. And I was putting it off for a long time because of my quadricep injury. It was just easy to, and honestly, my quadricep injury hasn't been the reason for me not doing that for a long time. It's just it got easy to be complacent being lazy once I got used to it, once I got out of a routine. So it's just non-negotiable, 1 to 2 hours a day, either 2 hours a day or 1 hour a day, cardio with interval training, regardless of whether it's a weight day. Doesn't matter what work there is to do that day, doesn't matter what traveling there is to do that day, every single day, that's the priority. Outside of that, you can't really change your looks. I mean, I guess you can do plastic surgery and stuff like that, but nah, no way. It's so easy for plastic surgery to get botched, even if you're rich. Like, God forgive me for saying this. I apologize. And I love her very much. I love her music. I love everything about her. But like Tori Amos, before and after plastic surgery, yo, like that's no. There's also one woman at our gym, Dr. Evil Genius, knows exactly who the fuck I'm talking about, that has had the worst plastic modifications, silicone modifications you could ever imagine, and just kind of looks like an alien, and is always trying to get attention from you. Like this woman once, she just walks literally right in front of me. It's a very, very spacious, roomy gym. She just walks in front of me and just starts bending over to pick things up, and it's like, get away from me, stop. I mean, like, it's so obvious what you're doing, just go away, I'm not going to give you attention. But she has modified her face to such an extent to try to get attention, and it just looks like an alien. So no, plastic. I don't mind my face. I kind of like my face. I also don't think I'd be able to look in the mirror if I did that kind of stuff. Because every time I saw the different me, I would know that I did that to get a woman, and I'd feel like a bitch. And if I felt like a bitch, I'd have no confidence because I'd feel like a bitch, and then I wouldn't actually be able to speak to people in the manner that I do now. And I think that would really compromise me over the course of my life, badly. So I wouldn't do that. If you figure this out, I sense a new Lewis channel. Really appreciate you sharing your time and honesty. That airport might not have checked the QR code, but I went to Iceland a few weeks ago, and they definitely did check it. It's a bit of a gamble. At that point, I imagined you have to edit the QR code as well. But that's... First it was Rossman Real Estate, now Rossman Relationship Advice. No, I don't have relationship advice. Don't take relationship advice from me. Remember, as you say, no hard feelings, let bygones be bygones. Women often try to change us, and if you're not moving, it ends. After that time, they understand there's no better out here. It's good to be single. I think so. There's a lot of crazy out there. I'm definitely a weirdo like you. My last relationship ended abruptly, but closed out quickly. Haven't heard from them in a decade. Your previous ex before Erica is really going over the line, though, Lewis. No, that wasn't the ex before Erica. That was the ex before 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 Erica. But yeah, that happened like 5 years ago. That call is, and that's the thing. I didn't feel a win in that moment. I just felt this horrible, overwhelming feeling of sadness for someone. Like, it didn't matter how bad this woman had treated me. It didn't matter how nasty the shit that she said to me was. The moment she's like, I pick up the phone and I just hear crying and bawling her eyes out about how she wants to die and all this. I just felt bad. Like, I mean, there's nothing I can do for you. You know, I could talk you down off a ledge and then tell you to see a therapist, which is what I did. And I haven't heard from her since. That was like 5 years ago. Who knows? But I didn't feel like I won, you know? Because when I was a teenager, I thought, I'm going to show you by living my best life. I'm going to win at everything that I do. Or I'm going to lose at a lot of it. I'm going to win at enough of it that I could live with myself, but know that you were on some bullshit when you said all those things about me. And I'm going to become an impressive and decent human being, a person that I could look at in the mirror and be proud of. And I'm going to show you. But that was never how it was supposed to go. Because like that whole comment that somebody made with Seinfeld about, Elaine saying who wins a breakup, the context of this is I said, well, the way you win a breakup is by living your best life, or living as good a life as you can humanly live, while the other person may not. But like, that's not how it's supposed to go. Speaking of how it's not supposed to go, why is that plane smoking? Stop smoking. Stop. I hope that's not mine. Please don't be mine. Please don't be my airline. Please don't be my airline. Oh no. Can you see out there? Yo. What unit pack power shit is in that plane? I don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Someone said my ex-wife is on the phone and sounds mad. I said you have to be more specific. Which one? You should walk around the airport because you're going to be sitting around for a while in the airplane. I did. Now I'm sitting. And I asked why you're in Germany. To fly home. You seem to be struggling. I don't seem to be struggling. I seem to be sitting. I was really surprised to see you yesterday. You got ripped. Did you see me yesterday? I don't think I posted something yesterday. I keep most of that stuff very, very private, Frederickris. I've made a concerted effort to not show people that I go out with or date on stream before Erica, after Erica. Erica was the only one that kind of became a character. And I remember speaking to a woman that said, I would not feel comfortable ever appearing on your channel because they have such an investment in Erica that I feel like I would become the villain. And it was it was kind of interesting because this has become a fairly large portion of my life. Like, you know, again, when I do those lobbying hearings, for instance, Erica was there, holding the camera because, you know, I don't know, if I'm traveling the country, well, my girlfriend comes with me, but she would feel okay walking in front of the camera at the end of it, or talking to somebody or having her voice heard on it. And it was very interesting to get the female perspective on that. Like when somebody said, I would never have wanted to show your channel even if I married you, because I would feel like I was the villain. Because she just looked through some of the comments and said that the investments that people have in her is quite a lot, because she's a character or a staple on the channel. And I kind of understand where they're coming from. He's traveling because he's lost his mind. Thank you, Dindog, for making sure everybody's aware. He said, yo, Lamo. Raphael, what? Plastic looks good for a period, then you just have to keep going back and it just goes downhill. The thing to remember about plastic surgery is 3 cuts to clown face. Ugh. Posture's a big one, Gorak 9000. Posture's a big one. Do you have a type? I do, and that's part of the problem. Are you coming back to the US? Yes. I'm gonna be depressed when I go back there because they have traffic lights there. How is travel to Germany? I have not been outside the airport. Some situations are unwinnable. The best thing to do is avoid those. I think you know you've won by the way you handled that. You weren't desperate and you wanted to help. I mean, there's no desperate there. Like, if somebody calls you saying that they want to kill themselves, that's really not the time for a relationship. And I had figured out at the time that I got that call that, like, I mean, I was long past the point of ever wanting to be in a relationship with that person ever again. Like 8 years past that. You consider reconstructive surgery the same as plastic surgery? I don't know if they're the same, man. I don't know if it's like the same concept being used. Like, I mean, with reconstructive surgery, I have a lot more sympathy because you don't have a choice. You know, again, if somebody shoots you in the face or something, it's not like you're making a choice. The face I was born with versus this new face. It's like no face versus new face. So, I mean, you know, I wish all the best for anybody that is getting reconstructive surgery to be able to regain a sense of normalcy or identity. And I really do wish them the best of luck with it. So was the end with Erica was on the way home trying to find food when there was no service to find food? I don't understand what that means. That is the fabled smoking only flight. That's not good, says Dindog. Yeah, I'm not getting on that plane. Fuck that. I'm actually keeping track of which plane is which. No, that's not my plane. I don't want that plane. At some point, a person who needs help has to start by helping themselves and not be an unnecessary burden on other people. If they can't do that, there isn't much you can do. Pretty much. You can't help people that don't want to help themselves. And I think most people need to hit rock bottom before they will actually do something about it. I've had to hit rock bottom before I fix myself. in the past. It's the journey of watching somebody hit that is absolutely and utterly painful. And that is why I don't fly anymore, says Jessica, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Planes doing burnouts. That's probably what it is, Tim Herman, but with my luck, I always like to be extra careful, you know? You kind of is a character on the channel. Now everyone is confused. How is everyone confused? Is it true that implants can burst on airplanes, or is that a myth? I don't know if that's a myth, but I do know that breast implants can emit chemicals into your bloodstream that wind up causing you severe anxiety, depression, and health issues. One of my customers had that happen to her. He was talking about it. And I looked it up, and it was a thing. A lot of women don't know that there's a risk of that happening. Like, implants can leak into you, and that's one of the reasons you probably shouldn't permanently install something inside your body unless there's a really damn good reason for it. I don't think having bigger boobs is a good reason for it. I was arguing that with somebody over the past week who's like, no, some people just do it for themselves. I'm like, no, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a misogynist piece of shit. Do any women actually get breast implants for themselves? I sincerely doubt that's the purpose of them. I mean, like, do women get them just so that they can look in the mirror at their own boobs and like go? I get it if you had to have a mastectomy or something because you had cancer, like, you know, that's an understandable modification. But like outside that, for a healthy person, like, you're not getting come on, like, can we just be real here? You're not getting the boobs for you. You're getting them for the people that are gonna look at them. That was an interesting argument I wound up having. But where was I forget where this came up. Does Erica still support right to repair stuff? I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, she's always been the type of person to go into dumpsters and find stuff. I mean, that, you know, her belief in that type of lifestyle really predated me and was independent of me as a human being. So I would imagine that, yes, she's given me no reason to believe that she's become a worse human being since we've split, or that she has given up on her ideals and the things that she enjoyed. I'll get on the smoking only plane. Yes, that's my plane. I think she was wanting you to tell her you cared about her. Okay, which one is she? Because we've had a bunch of different people we've been discussing over the past few minutes, and that comment's 3 weeks old. Oof, Lewis, that's more of a red flag. An ex will kill themselves just so they get back. No, she didn't want to get back together with me. No, this to be clear, that person did not want to get back together with me. There was none of that happening. They just wanted a lifeline to keep themselves from falling into a pit of despair and misery. They did not want to date me again or even be a friend again. They just didn't know. I think they knew that I was one of the few people that would actually pick up the phone. As much of an asshole as I am, like, I don't know. I'm far too forgiving of people that I pity. I think I'm far too forgiving of people that I pity. I pick up the phone for people I honestly have no fucking business picking up the phone for. It's happened too many times. Not even women, like this or dating stuff. Like, there are too many. There are a lot of people that I should not pick up a phone for that I pick up a phone for. Hope you'll be having a good time. As boring as our airports tend to be. Oh dear God, K2, how can you ask the same fucking question over and over and over again? Holy shit. Jesus Christ. Stop this copy pasta. Silicone implants can leak, that's why they make saline ones now. I don't trust it. Thin dog, can I say that? I don't trust it. I don't trust it. If a woman that I were with felt the need to get implants, I would feel like such a failure because it means that I failed as a man in making her feel like she was attractive and enough without having to inject her body with shit. You know? I think that's a part of the dude's job in a relationship. Make your woman feel like her boobs are the best on the planet. Like that's part of it. I think that is part of the part and parcel of like the boyfriend role. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm overstepping there, but there are things you could do to, help with that. I'm not discussing that on stream. That's too weird. Breast implants can get moldy while inside of you as well, causing all sorts of problems, including sepsis of the tits. Oh God, I don't want to think about that. Implants have to be replaced every 7 to 10 years. Yeah, screw that. I have a friend who wanted to get new boobs because she had small ones. Too late, I have lots of metal in my body that's needed to hold me together, wires, screws, plates, and more. And I hope that you wind up, I hope it all goes well. And I'm sorry that you had to have all that stuff put in you. But I'm glad that they rebuilt you. And I'm glad they rebuilt you to good enough condition that you're able to write a manuscript. And I look forward to reading it someday. Did you pick up something to eat already? I did, and it was garbage. But airport food is garbage everywhere. You go. I don't think I have a heart, David. I think I have stupidity. I don't give myself credit for that. Weird question, maybe none of my business, but now that Eric and you have broken up, do you think that we should still stay subscribed to her YouTube? No answer is fine. I mean, why not? If you wanted to follow her stuff, then you should follow her stuff. If you don't want to follow her stuff, then you shouldn't follow her stuff. If you want to follow her stuff, then you should follow her stuff. I mean, I don't hate her. This isn't something where it's this isn't one of those Bill Burr, Rihanna, Chris, moments of fuck you, I'll sell more, fuck all your friends, I'll sell more albums than you motherfucker. That was not the way this went at all. I self-deprecate before other people can say I have a giant ego, but it still happens anyway, Matthew. You can't change what other people see themselves. Correct. No cursing all the rest of you. No, that was UAE. There's a reason that I did not do a lot of walking around videos in the UAE. It's because I know I'm going to wind up saying shit that gets me in prison. The woman who was crying wanted to kill herself. I think she wanted you to rescue her and tell her you care about her. No, I don't think that was what she was looking for. I think she needed someone to direct her to a therapist in a hospital and give her a path. I don't know what the hell it was, but I hope she took it. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't, but I hope she took it. I'm halfway through this round of edits. I did the hardest ones done first, the rest should go faster. I wish I had your patience. Did Erica by chance become just too homesick for Hawaii to move to rural Northeast? I don't know. I didn't really want to move to the rural Northeast. That's the thing. I wanted to explore it, not move there. I just kind of wanted to drive around and find out where I belong. Dude came rushing out and was like, "Get inside, you can smoke in here." What? There's a reason you went to Europe. Connecting flight on the way home. I feel like self-esteem boobs are probably real. No, they don't. It's only so others will like them, or at least that's what they believe. Yeah, the argument that I had with this one woman is she said that some people do know they're not getting breast implants for the benefit of men, they're getting it for themselves. And I'm like, yes, because it makes them feel like they are able to get attention, more attention from men, or they feel more confident from men. It's like, no, it has nothing to do with the men. Well, I mean, That seems like a real inability to be honest with yourself there. I don't know. Jessica, you're a woman. What do you think? I thought she was on some bullshit. Like, women don't look at boobs. Women don't have the same utility in boobs that men do. There's one gender that has a preference for that over this. And it's not, I don't know. It's like I said it demonstrated an inability to be honest with yourself. That was an interesting conversation. Like, what the fuck is the point? I've never seen a woman do this that was straight, by the way, at least. I should be... When somebody walked by with big tits. You know who does that? Men. Now, one of them said that... her response was that, well, I know somebody who had a boob job who was already in a committed relationship with a fiance that loved them. And it's like, okay, so she's insecure that he's gonna still like her, or she wants to feel like he'll get more attention from her, or she'll get more attention from her. I don't know. Maybe she wants to upgrade someday. Who knows? But like, it's kind of weird. You can't convince me that that's not for the benefit of a man. I mean, of the woman. I mean, of the man. It's like, I don't know. It's like saying I take. It would be like if I said I take dick enhancement pills for the benefit, but it's not for the benefit of women. Like, are you kidding me? It's just, what's the point? It makes no sense. Sometimes if women have toxic friends, they can go down that path. Correct. Poor self-esteem and toxic friends. One of the ladies I know has them and is a lesbian. I wonder if the lesbian friends found them beneficial. I don't work out for women. I work out because I want to not have a heart attack in my 40s or 50s. My grandpa died of a heart attack in his 50s. My uncle had a heart attack in his 40s. My grandpa had a heart attack. Actually, he made it to his like mid-60s or so. Great-grandpa, most of the people in my family die, and they're usually very, very, very badly out of shape. And also, my dad has had 7 different surgeries on his shoulders and his knees. And his body is absolutely falling apart. And I don't want my body to fall apart. I also recognize that I chose an industry to work in that has, trying to figure out the right way to put this. A large, I'm going to put this over here. It's very easy to be out of shape when you sit in a microscope for 8 or 12 hours a day. So I need the exercise because even if I do exercise, it's still easy to just get out of shape when you don't do anything all day, when you're completely sedentary. So it serves a dual function, right? Now, it may attract somebody. It may attract somebody if you do that. But it also serves a purpose for me. Implants, there's really just one purpose. Like, it's not going to make you live longer. It's not going to decrease your risk of dying of a heart attack. It's not going to decrease your risk of needing surgery. It's not going to strengthen your bones into old age. Good thing indeed, Dindog. Good thing indeed. Teresa, that's a good question, and I think that you'd have to differentiate between the 2 different types of medication. I mean, we're talking about the type that just allows you to have one at all, and then there's also medication that claims that it's going to make it bigger. And the latter type is the one that I think is bullshit. Thank you, Jim Hook. Thank you very much. The water is not bad. The dude version of implants is synthol injections. That's a good one. Yeah, see, I wouldn't compare implants to exercise. I would compare it to synthol, which is disgusting, by the way. At the end of the day, you didn't earn any of it, and it doesn't make you stronger. Yeah, so for those who don't know, synthol is when instead of actually working out to make your muscles bigger, you inject this oil into you, so it makes you look bigger, but it doesn't make you stronger, and there are also health consequences to it that are bad. And it's disgusting. International Women's Day is some made-up BS, as Dindog. I never even knew that existed, to be honest with you. Bodybuilding in general is fucked up. Well, the thing where people will starve themselves for the last day and not drink water so that they could weigh in, that entire thing seems really unhealthy to me. I don't know, Jessica, whatever. Mm-hmm. Duke is in the Netherlands, not Germany. You only work out for the women. Well, see, when you talk about something increasing your self-esteem, after an honest workout, I actually feel better. Like after an hour of lifting weights and an hour of cardio, I look in the mirror, I'm like, yeah. But that's different from injecting something like synthol. I would not feel more confident after injecting synthol because it's fake. I didn't do anything. I didn't earn anything. Like, it's ugh. I don't think that would actually give me confidence. Schematic. Yeah, I got a PCR test. Check it out. Mm-hmm. Flipped out. When did you leave the business? Because that may be coming true soon. I always think it's gonna come true way sooner than it actually does. Thank you, Anne.
Yeah.
2 hours, cheap vlog.
Microphone.
I know, the hookah. I can't wait to get on my plane and go to sleep. Good night, then, Doc. Go rent a car and go on the Autobahn if you have time. I had 4 hours of sleep, so that's I'm not driving at the moment. That's not true, Teresa. See you later, Llewellyn. Cattle class, Jim. I'm sleepy. Alright. I wonder if there's a place I could lie down here. That guy's got the right idea. He sealed himself in. I should do what that guy's doing.